have a way of knowing when he is. The 8-passenger time vehicle is equipped with a sub-ether time tracking scanner which will allow us to track Biff to his precise location at the precise moment in whatever time period he may have traveled to.
Doc, all pre-launch system checks are complete.
That's our cue. Hang on to your hats.
Something's gonna happen. We're just gonna blast all of a sudden, probably.
When you see Biff in the DeLorean, accelerate to 88 miles per hour and bump him. Accelerating now at 65 miles per hour. 65, 75, 85. 2015. Let's get him. What you think? Gotta get some gas, Doc! Hands on! Going down! Down! Going up! Going down! Going up! Doc! Great Scott! Here's my new house! You like it? Up front! Circles around you buttheads!
Volunteers, there is no videotaping on the live, please. Sir
It's her company. Yeah, well, we go from San Francisco to Hill Valley pretty quick here at Universal.
Look over there.
It's Hill Valley in the 1950s. Okay, here we go.
Oh, they're filming something over there.
It's the Hill Valley thing, yeah.
They're filming over there.
Yeah, I know, I saw it. Oh, they're doing a potty.
Wait up, it's the clock tower. Anyone recognize it? This is where Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, harnessed a bolt of lightning to send Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox back to the future.
This is the clock tower.
That's
Looks like it's dressed for a party here today. We're going to be feeding the crew for this commercial. This is how Hill Valley looked in the first film. For the second film, BTF2, that's movie talk for Back to the Future 2, we put in a big glass pond here in front of the courthouse, glassed in the front of the courthouse. It's down that street where that Liberty Car truck rental was parked, that the hoverboard chase scene took place. Went down that street, came around the corner, crossed the pond, crashed into the front of the courthouse. Of course, it's along this street that we're traveling. In the beginning of that film catches on fire. Coincidentally, it's one of the few structures that did not burn in our metropolitan sets in a fire that occurred in November of 1990. Some of you may remember that fire. 4 acres of our 420-acre lot burned. Of course, the press made it sound like the whole place burned down.
Over there.
They are powerless to stop the enraged beast. Military units are rushing to the scene. The beast was isolated nearly 200 miles. We now have a live coverage on the scene. Kelly King.
We're now hovering above the wreckage of a crushed L train. The helicopter beside us is searching for... Wait! There's a tramload of people down there. We've got to go down and over them with 10 people on the tram. You are in danger.
other sets on the lot. It was constructed in the early 19... Hey, Chris, we can't go across the bridge. A couple of the beams just fell. Did you see this? The whole side of the roof is just collapsed down. We can't go across the bridge because the bridge is falling apart. Didn't you see the beams? Chris, what have you been doing? Are you listening to me? Are you watching where we're going? We can't go across the bridge. Hi. Well, I guess we'll be okay. You get a great view from up here. Look, you can see the back of our Metropolitan. I'm sorry, it's my job. I'm a professional.
There it goes back.
Yeah, look at it. Everybody's back.
There it goes. It's hydraulically up. Oh, we're gonna do it again? It's hydraulically operated. It's been used in lots of television shows, like the Mousemobile from Uncle Buck, starring John Candy. Maybe that's really a Ferrari. I don't know. Convertible is the one that got filled up with manure in the first film. Meow. And the gray Peugeot? Anybody know whose car that is? Gray Peugeot on the end? What kind of TV viewers are you? Yeah, somebody knows. It's Columbus. We're traveling down Appian Way down this hill. Of course, they weren't really Roman soldiers. They were just Los Angeles college students. How do you put makeup on thousands of extras? You line them up and you spray paint it on. Somebody told me there was a 50-50 chance of rain today. And here at Universal, that means it's only going to rain on one side of the tram.
What side?
50, get it? I don't know. It's a bad one. We have flash floods in this area when it rains. Cover your belongings back there in the third car. Hold your nose. You might go in this flash flood. Created by dumping thousands of gallons of recycled water held up in tanks at the top of the hill. Rain was created by the sprinklers up in the trees. This is how we created the effects of the flood in the film The River, starring Sissy Spacek and Mel Gibson. This area also appeared as viable land in the film Fletch Lives, starring Chevy Chase. Oh, the tree's made out of a very special wood. It's not redwood or dogwood. Okay, I need you back in your seats. Back in your seats, we're going. I don't know.
Sorry, I'll for the next tram with you.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase also starred in a film that was done in this area, an Orion picture called Three Amigos, which also starred Steve Martin and Martin Short. Janet Jackson danced through here in a music video Escapade.
I recognize that.
Seen in Southeast Asia in a miniseries called Letters from Nam. They were here a couple weeks ago. You can look forward to that in the fall. The Livery Stable and My Sights from My Little Chickadee, starring Mae West and W.C. Fields. And we're in Texas. Yeah! Howdy, partner. Round them up, cowboys. I'll have chorizo and eggs. Isn't that what cowboys have for breakfast? Of course, it's a little late for breakfast, but
Something's gonna happen.
6 Points, Texas. More movies have been made here than any other place in the world. Remember I told you that Carl Lindley used to set up bleachers? Well, it was right here. He set them up and you guys were invited in to watch the films. You could watch more than one film at a time because each one of these streets is set up like a small town with a sheriff's station, a saloon, and a hotel. When the sheriff chased the bad guy out of town into the next town, they didn't go very far, just right around the corner. Television shows like Laramie and Wagon Train, Alias Smith and Jones are done here. This is where Whoopi Goldberg got her dress shop in the Warner Brothers film In Color Purple. Stars like Tom Mix and Hoot Gibson, Audie Murphy, the old Cowboys, even John Wayne has performed on those streets. On the driver's side, a large tank. Tom Hanks walked up the steps climbed in and wrestled a snake for the film Dragnet. That's used for underwater photography. We pull the cameras up to the portholes. Makes it much simpler. Universal has one of the largest collections of props in Hollywood. And we don't have a place to store them all. So you'll find them scattered around the lot. There's some of the bones from Jurassic Park. That paddle wheel was attached to a riverboat that used to be out here in the lake. The Jeeps are from MacArthur. Cages were used in an episode, gosh, a couple seasons back for Quantum Leap. Scott Bakula took on the body of a circus animal or something. This lake was the entire Pacific Ocean for McHale's Navy. Starring Ernest Borgnine, Tim Conway, and OPT 73.
Cool.
You know, there is a rumor that when they were out here filming, they left some of the prize people left some unexploded underwater mines around here. They weren't able to discover.
I know how they do
It's
this.
just a rumor, really. You can't pay much attention to that.
I know how they do that.
We're all waiting one day for these mines to go off. So they gave you snorkels at the front entrance, right?
Look at that.
No, it's all right. This is our glass bottom boat portion of the tour. You just pick up your feet. We'll be fine. Park the waters, please. Chris gets to play God for a little bit. Open sesame.
They put air. They push air through it.
It's our Red Sea, inspired by the film The Ten Commandments.
Keep it on.
Cecil B. DeMille first parted the waters, so cinematically that is, in 1923. He took a block of gelatin, cut it in half, and fused it back together again using gas jets, and then reversed the film.
Well, what's going on?
I see some bubbles over there in the water.
Yeah, me too.
In 1956, Charlton Heston stood on a cliff, raised his staff, and commanded the waters to part, and they marched 10,000 extras along the dirt road. As we travel through the Red Sea, pick up any of your belongings off the floor that might get wet. Have a seat. Your best shot of the Red Sea will be at sea level from your seat. What's that?
Oh, mine. Shoot! Scared me. Oh, I got wet, man.
We've just touched down on an uncharted desert isle. This area was seen in the movie for TV Gilligan's Island.
I thought so.
Oh, but I've been watching it.
These train tracks were put down New York Street to create Old Chicago.
There's another.
They were Street. We got lots of props stored in this area now. That's because our prop department's off on the driver's side, building number 487. It's got over 1 million props in there. Of course, a prop can be anything from a paper clip to the desk it sits on. If it's not nailed down, it's a prop. And it's props that make these sets look like anywhere in the world at any time. We're traveling into Spartacus Square.
That way.
Seen in the film Spartacus, it was up at the top of those steps where the columns are, where Laurence Olivier addressed the Roman troops. This area was also seen in Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Over there.
And this area was also used in Thoroughly Modern Millie, starring Julie Andrews and Mary Tyler Moore. This building off on my side could look like an embassy or an art museum anywhere in the world just by putting the appropriate flags out front. It became a New Orleans precinct for an episode of Murder, She Wrote. Of course, you probably already figured out that almost every one of these sets has been used in an episode of Murder, She Wrote at one time or another, going into its 10th season for Universal Television.
Yep.
And off on the driver's side,
Driver's side.
this area was also a part of New Orleans. It became the French Quarter for that same episode. When we take television shows like Murder, She Wrote and we set them in another country or another city other than Los Angeles, we have to use a special effects photography technique called matte photography. That's where we cover over the part of the camera lens that we don't want the camera to see.
Isn't she in the way?
For instance, Murder, She Wrote in New Orleans. We don't want to see the Hollywood Hills, Universal Sheridan, the San Gabriel Mountains. We would cover over that part of the camera lens, and then in post-production, photograph an oil painting with the appropriate background. It's kind of like a Cinemagic jigsaw puzzle. The studio over to his son, and his son changed the philosophy just a little bit, decided to make fewer films but of better quality. And All Quiet on the Western Front was released and won Universal its first best. That large palm there was used in went to visit his Kung Fu master. That was filmed in there. We're getting ready now to enter a soundstage with their tail. This is a hot set. That means it's dressed and ready for filming. You can see where the crew was off on the driver's side. And obviously there's nobody here today, or we wouldn't be able to be here. Whoa! What's that? I guess it's just some California terror. Nothing to worry about. Everybody please hold on to your personal belongings and remain seated. Shaker. That's the most sophisticated live special effect ever created. We haven't seen any sharks out here for a little while.
Jaws is gonna pop out, I'll bet you. And
That's right, George is out fishing. Hi, George.
that guy's gonna die.
Oh, George. George. I don't know, hard to hear you.
Shark.
Oh, there's a shark out there. We
Look.
have to warn George. Everybody, help me shout to George. George. Shark.
Can you see it?
Oh, no. Gotta be.
No, stop, he's gonna come out.
Okay, everybody have a seat. Oh, no, he took the bait.
Shoot, that's hot. Oh, there he is! Over there! Oh, man! Sick! I got wet!
That's the only shark that does the backstroke. George is back. Gonna have to watch that high blood pressure, George.
Did you see the blood squirt out from on tape?
I don't know.
1313 Mockingbird Lane. The house with the yellow front is the Home Alone Kids house. In the Michael Jackson video, Black or White, you know he comes running out of the front?
Oh, yeah.
Macaulay Culkin, I think. I never pronounce it right. Macaulay Culkin? I hope he never takes my tour. Number 103 with the yellow trim is the home of Doris Day and James Garner in the thrill of it all. That's the one where he drives the car into the swimming pool. Of course, they told me that Doris Day's lived in every house on the street with a different man. The Colonial Mansion is a sanitarium for Harvey. It was Dorothy Malone's home and written on the wind. Across the cul-de-sac is Cabot Cove City Hall. At the end of the street is Eddie Munster's school. And this small commercial area is called Anytown, USA, because we can make it look like almost any town in the United States. And it was part seen in Leave It to Beaver. Beaver's house used to be up here, but they moved it to another portion of the lot. It became part of Pasadena for Beethoven. Now this house with the fish scales, that's the home of the Kopecks, those very weird neighbors. In the film The Burbs, and Tom Hanks lived next door, number 730 with the small porch, which is also seen in another Tom Hanks movie called Dragnet. It became the home of Connie Swale, and for her we painted it pink. She was a virgin, remember? The greenhouse with the white columns is the home of Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew.
And next door to Nancy Drew lived another super sleuth, Ben Matlock, the White House with the green trim. Matlock is a Viacom production. They used to film here, but they now moved their filming on location near the Carolinas. The Brown House is the House of Seven Gables, which starred Vincent Price. Vincent Price's first Hitchcock was already a master of suspense. The house isn't as large as it appears. It was built to 3/4 scale. That's so Anthony Perkins would look larger and scarier when he stood in front of it. Also, so the house would appear farther away from the Bates Motel. The backdrop with a lake in front of it was created for Jaws: The Revenge, the third Jaws film. We had to create the skies and the waters of the Caribbean for some of the more difficult stunts for the movie. For those of you that have seen Jurassic Park, when they find the raptors, it does feel a bit chillier up here, doesn't it? Brrr, it's cold.
Snow scene.
Wait a minute, Chris, you're not thinking of going through the ice tunnel, are you? You were,
yes.
You were, but don't they have avalanches in the ice tunnel? Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately we have to travel through the ice tunnel because we have a demented driver who wants a little adventure. And
I see.
in the tunnel, well, we're going to have to be very, very quiet. We hate to experience any danger of an avalanche in here, so shh, nobody make a sound. Yeah, especially you. Okay, Chris, no pranks. If you find yourself getting dizzy, just close your eyes.
It looks real.
Just close your eyes.
Oh, we're gonna turn over.
We're not even moving, are we?
We're gonna turn over.
It feels like we are, but this is just moving. Feels like we're moving, but we aren't. But we aren't. We're not even moving, see? That wasn't such a good
Well, you may be surprised to learn that we never once tilted. We remained level the entire time we were traveling through that tunnel. E.T. is the highest grossing film in motion picture history. Didn't know E.T. landed in Burbank, huh? When Carl Laemmle purchased this land, it had a chicken ranch on it.
In movies, when you add fire to a comedy scene,
for you to play your part in the spectacular finale of the film, The Chemical Warehouse Fire.
was a fire in the center office. It burned up everything in the room until it ran out of oxygen. Oh, it may look quiet now, but that is its deception. For hiding inside a unburned natural gas, a breath of fresh air.
Là-bas, ici, là-bas. Ça nous va? Hello,
I think it says tag. See him? I think something's gonna happen now because the music stopped. Oh, look.
Hey! Hey, ready to cover! Mike, so away, you ready!
Huh?
Action Spectacular. My name is Miles O'Brien and I'm the director. As I take you behind the scenes to see stunts and special effects we filmed for hit shows just like Miami Vice. Now you're going to be seeing a whole lot of stunts today. Much have to realize we shoot a movie one scene at a time. We don't film a motion picture as one continuous story like you'll see it on your TV. We move around to a lot of different locations. And as you can see by our exotic set, we've taken our cast and crew to a Caribbean island down off the Florida Keys. Now our story begins with a shipment of stolen explosives hidden in that gunboat that's been disguised as a fishing trawler. And Crockett and Tubbs are following up on a lead that brings them right here to the hideout of a Caribbean crime boss and his gang of sleazy smugglers. No, folks, please, don't encourage them. I meant sleazy, ugly smugglers. Hey. Pat, don't mess with me.
Oh yeah, just what do you think you're gonna do about it?
Any more questions? Now park your little boat. Oh, I did have some help with that one, folks. And move up there in the center. That's our technical director, Mr. Bill Lehman. And Bill, you're obviously ready to get going, so how about some effects for our next scene? Smoke from the factory's looking good. Great, Billy. Stand by. Got you guys in your places? All right. Now, as you all just saw a moment ago, our stunt doubles for Crockett and Tubbs have managed to ruffle a few feathers here in Flamingo Land. And in this next scene, they move in to collect some hard evidence. But our sleazy smugglers, they have other ideas. Something like a dynamite surprise party. All right, guys, here we go. Standing by. And action! Nice work, guys. Hey, Bill, how about a special effects repair job on this pair, if you would, please? Thank you. Now, every time a stuntman fires a weapon, just like this one on our set, it's actually Bill in the special effects department that supplies both the sound and the blast you expect to see. And that's quite simply because we'll never use live ammo on a film set, right, Bill? Oops. Sorry, guys. I didn't know. Wait, Tubbs. Tubbs. Tubbs! Where you going?
I'm going home.
Get back here. Now, Bill, I told you to put blanks in here. Well, there are blanks in here. We make them look real with the line of special effects, right, guys? Why don't you take this thing before I shoot somebody? Thank you. Now, as the director, I plan all of these stunts, but first, I'll have the guys rehearse each individual scene without the special effects of gunfire. Guess that means Bill's ready for the next scene. All right, guys, let's rehearse the rescue scene. Gene, down here. Now, this is where the bullets from Crockett's gun are going to chase you down the dock and back into the water again. What's the matter, Gene? A little waterlogged? Well, next time, keep your mouth closed. Oh, that's funny, is it, Pat? All right, Tubbs, kick Pat in the head. Oh. When I say action. And AJ, I'd like you to reach out and try to stop Crockett as he slides by. Now, y'all are the bad guys, so let's get into character here. Look mean. Mean! And no smiling. Good. Now, these highly trained professionals... As I was saying, these highly trained professional stuntmen will not move a muscle until I, as their director, of course, call action. And... No, guys, not yet. Wait, Gene, get back here. Tubbs, cut. Hey, cut. Would you guys reset the rescue scene and we'll take it from the top? And in the meantime, Bill, let's go over those topical sound effects for the next scene, please. Oh, wait a minute, Bill. There's no bird in the next scene. We can get rid of that thing. Give me some tropical noises. Thank you. Kill the bird! Nice shot, AJ. That'll do it there, Bill. I've got the sound effects to stand by. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this next scene, Crockett attempts to rescue his partner Tubbs, who's been captured by the smugglers.
Up there.
Today, playing Crockett, Mr. Nicholas Plashard. All right, Nicholas, do a quick safety check. Is that safety attached? And is your carriage free so you can slide safely? All right, standing by. Thank you, Gene. All right, smugglers, take your places, please. And Billy, have another special effects job on this pier. Okay, folks, this is where Crockett rescues Tubbs, who are standing by. And action! Well, stunt doubles most always stand in for stars, like Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas. All of the stars will occasionally do their own stunts, right, guys? But when it comes to something real dangerous, the director will always call in a professional stunt double. Thanks, guys. Now, a stunt double is hired because of his close physical resemblance to the star that he'll be doubling. Same hair color, height, weight, body frame, but most important, his physique. Oh, I personally have stood in many times for Arnold Schwarzenegger, What?
Guys over there.
You don't buy that, huh? You believe me, don't you? You do. Thanks, Mom. Now it's time to see the pros doing just about every film you go to today is the high fall. And now, one of our guys are going to take a hit and they're going to fall from about 25 feet. All right, which one of you guys want to go up and get shot? You decide. All right, AJ, take them on up. Now, when we get Gene to 25 feet, that'll be equal to a 3-story building high fall in the water. And that should about do it, AJ. Shut him down. AJ. AJ, would you get back? Oh, totally. AJ! I only asked for 25 feet. Now, come on, bring him back down. Why? Well, the pool's only 4 feet deep. You didn't know that, Gene? Oh, don't yell at me. Read the fine print in your contract. Now he's going to take that hit and spin into one of the most spectacular, agonizing, blood-curdling high falls ever recorded on film. On my gunshot. Gene, you ready? Well, Gene, there's only one way down. So here we go. Make it look painful. And action. Well, not quite what I had in mind, but give him a big round of applause anyway. Great dive, Gene. Thank you. You know, folks, you just might recognize Gene. He was in Barcelona, Spain last summer, where he participated in the '92 Summer Olympics. Yeah, that's right. He was the one selling hot dogs out front. All right, guys, reset for the next scene. Now, while they're doing that, remember the Crockett and Tubbs have just escaped from our smugglers. They're not quite through yet. In this next scene, they return in a new high-powered assault vehicle to wipe out the entire gang and that sleazy Caribbean crime boss. All right, guys, look alive. This is a picture. We all set up over there? Billy, the effects, if you would, please. Standing by. And action. team. First, our smugglers. On your right, Mr. Gene Williams. Coming down the ramp, Mr. A.J. Blanchard. On your left, Mr. Pat O'Brien. Playing the part of our 8 tons, Mr. Mark Hicks. And playing Sonny Crockett, Mr. Nicholas Blanchard. A special thanks to Bill for making it all work.